Just when you thought AMC was going to get a major move to the upside, we broke to the downside. We're sitting at $5.64, and I know a lot of people are very frustrated right now. I'm going to go over everything that there is to go over so you don't have to watch another update video here on YouTube. All I ask in return for researching, editing, recording, uploading these for you guys, not in that order particularly, but just please hit the like button and hit the subscribe button on the video. Without further ado, let's get right into it. So AMC currently sitting down 8.74%. We expected a major rip to the upside. However, it did fill a gap at around $5.75, and I wanted to touch on the charts a little bit here. If you come back to the January setup, once it traded in this parallel channel, it actually got a break to the downside with a gap down, which is exactly what we're seeing essentially with AMC. And from the relative peak to the low that it gapped down to before the rip in June, it was down about 24 to 25%. And even back in the January rip, from the channel trading, from the relative high to a low, it dropped about 15 to 16% retracement. With that being said, algos are stretched, right? This run-up wasn't the same as the June run-up. So you saw a 15% decline before a rip, a 25% decline before a rip, and now you may even see a 30% decline before the rip, right? It's not going to be exact. AMC, I'm watching to see if it will hold $5.60. If it doesn't hold that, if it doesn't hold $5.30, I'm watching $5. If it breaks under $5, this entire setup, this entire cycle period is invalidated. It's no longer, oh, this is bullish to me. No, if it breaks under $5, it's invalidated temporarily. However, this is not a natural push to the downside. I'm not selling till moon or zero. Of course, you guys all understand that going forward, but essentially this is where I stand with AMC. Over the next few days, we will see what market makers want to do. Of course, it's going to be a fight for the option chain come into Friday because they lost last week and they saw how this week started to perform with that loss on their hands. AMC currently down 22%. So if this algo stretches a bit further, you could see it drop a total of 30%, which would bring us down to about that $5.08 level, which is the bare bottom that I want to see this go to. I don't want to see that happen. I really want to see it hold about $5.60 and then $5.30 going forward. As for GameStop, the setup couldn't look more perfect. I'm 100% fine with how GameStop is trading. In fact, over the next few days, I only see GameStop going up after today. I don't see another red day coming. If it breaks below this channel, that's not something I want to see, but I will watch for a hold at $18.60. But as of right now, GameStop is looking completely solid. S&P 500, on the other hand, I don't know. We're sitting around 410.77. I really want to see it hold 410. It got a double top at 415 right here, and now it's retracing back down. You either want to see a pop at 410 or 408.60 or 407. Anything below that, boom, invalidated. I think the SPY is going to sell off even further. If it does break under 407, we will have to remap out our charts, as well as a break under 5 for AMC, remap out the charts. However, if the SPY does keep pushing, that is just going to send our quote-unquote meme stocks, quote-unquote short squeeze plays, small cap stocks on another rally to the upside, but even bigger. Touching on some Ortex numbers, 22.39% short interest, utilization still maxed out on AMC, cost to borrow average 328%, max 358, and the minimum 312. So one short is paying 312, one short is paying 358 at least, and the majority of shorts are paying 328% on these positions. Estimated short interest on APE 7.36%, utilization sitting around 94%, and the cost to borrow sitting around 10%. According to Stocko Tracker, there's no shares available to borrow on AMC. So now Stocko Tracker, right? They just get shares right out of thin air, which we are going to touch on in 1 minute. And just like that, they turn around the options chain. 13,000 calls compared to 36,000 puts expiring in the money. Short exempts loaded up, short percentage pretty high. And even looking on Twitter, you can see this tweet. Remember this yesterday? Cost to borrow was at 385%, and someone paid that to borrow 100K shares. Tell me, how is it they somehow found 21,427,783 AMC shares to short today to keep the price down? This is hashtag naked shorting. These are counterfeits. You can see right here, February 7th, 21 million total short volume reported, and 13 million were non-exempt off exchange volume. This is a horrible thing to see, and quite frankly, the SEC has not done anything except allow halts to happen, allow naked shorting to happen, and they just let big players steal retail's money. During the year ended December 31st, 2021, the company had reverse repurchase and repurchase agreements with Citadel Securities Institutional LLC, an affiliated broker and dealer, and Citadel Securities Swap Dealer LLC, an affiliated swap dealer. Securities borrowing and lending transactions are collateralized by pledging cash or securities, which typically include equity securities and are collateralized as a percentage of fair value of the securities borrowed or loaned. Reverse repurchase and repurchase agreements are collateralized primarily by receiving or pledging securities respectively. Typically, the company company has rights of rehypothecation with respects to the securities collateral received under reverse repurchase agreements in the underlying securities received. So Citadel does reverse repos on itself through its subsidiary companies and receives stocks or pledges stock as collateral and rehypothecates. Could this be what Ken Griffin was talking about when he said Redditors gave us the best pipeline we have ever had right before they started burning cell phones at their Chicago factory, burning evidence? As for GameStop, 200,000 shares available to borrow at a most recent fee of 17%, not looking too solid right there. We're losing calls to puts again, 3,000 compared to 10,000, and the short exempt volume got extremely high for GameStop. Followed up by 43,000, we hit over 100,000 and 61.5 short percentage on GameStop. So they are really trying to stop this as well. And you know the algorithm is pushing it because GameStop's volume doesn't randomly pick up now and then. It's always very, very shallow. There's not much volume in it. And the fact that they have to stump it this hard just shows that the algo right at this time frame is ready to press GameStop back to the highs it was at in January. Bed Bath & Beyond, 0 shares available to borrow. Most recent fee of, wait, it's not reported. Most recent fee was above 200%, and the calls to puts are getting slaughtered on the options chain. Short exempts stacked up, 4 million, 3 million. Market makers just play very, very unfair. Citadel plays unfair. The SEC is unfair. I literally want to explode just watching how the market trades and how fucked up it is. But moving on, Turkish stock market suspended trading. Their stock market fell 7.1% and triggered a market circuit breaker. Turkish stock market is now down over 17% in the last 3 days. Following that up, JP Morgan has said that the US Virgin Islands government granted Epstein and his businesses lucrative privileges and massive tax incentives. Why is this coming out now? Speaking of banks, Credit Suisse is dialing back anti-money laundering controls in Asia after complaints from clients and bankers. Is Credit Suisse going to be the next Lehman Brothers? Now, I don't like this one bit. Revolut launches Ethereum and Cardano staking to its 25 million users. This is not a good idea in my opinion. I'm not going to bash any company on here, but I'm not going to vouch for Revolut after some things they did with the buy button on AMC, GameStop, and other stocks as well, not being able to trade on that platform. I don't really like it much, especially now that it's launching Ethereum and Cardano staking to its users. I don't think that this staking is going to benefit the customer. I think staking is going to save the company in any sort of liquidity crisis that there is, and that's just my take on it. Be very, very careful with your crypto on exchanges. Now, Ray Dalio has said money as we know it is in jeopardy. Speaking of that, Croatia purchased nearly 2 tons of gold in December, worth more than 101 million, and this was the first purchase by the central bank since 2001. US credit card debt has also hit a record 930.6 billion. And ChatGPT across Twitter, I've been seeing this float around everywhere, is reporting that there may be a market crash after February 15th. What do you guys think about this down below? Sus or no? Now today, Biden said he will vow to not let US default over the debt limit. However, we don't really know how he's going to do that, and I don't think he does too. We're going to touch on that in a second. There's a lot of stuff going on between China and the US, and China and everywhere, and China and China and China and China. I just see China across my Twitter board. Now, reporter said, should the US ban TikTok? I'm not going to show you this clip because I don't want to make the video too long. And Biden says, ban TikTok? I'm not sure. I don't have it on my phone. This guy doesn't even know what the fuck is going on, and he's talking about the US defaulting, and he will vow to not let it default. I don't know why we would trust, 80-year-old dude with dementia. I'm not bashing the guy. I feel bad for him, but it's like, there's definitely somebody in his ear running certain operations in the background. Overall, we see this. The US is trying to ban TikTok. We just saw it get banned in Texas. We're seeing it get banned in other states right after this spy balloon was hovering over, right? China is spying on us. China is spying on us through TikTok. If you don't know, TikTok is a Chinese app, and it allows a lot of things to be looked through in your cell phone that a lot of people don't know about. They just press accept on the agreement when they download TikTok. And basically every American uses TikTok, or at least 90% uses TikTok. Following that up, Biden, I'm announcing new standards to require all construction materials used in federal infrastructure projects to be made in America. Probably going to be more expensive, but again, this whole China thing is not looking good. Biden also said if China threatens sovereignty, United States will act. The United Kingdom will explore the possibility of sending fighter jets to Ukraine. As of right now, what we know is that AMC is still on the threshold securities list as the time I'm making this video. And the overall sentiment going forward is that, the SEC, the market makers, it's just all corrupt. It's very, very terrible. And quite frankly, I don't know what to do going forward from here. However, it's not easy on their part, right? They are stumping the momentum as hard as they can, but there are going to have to be consequences. None of retail is leaving. None of the 5 million of us are leaving going forward. But this is what I got for you for today's video. Hopefully you found value out of the video or enjoyed watching. Make sure to have post notifications on and join the Discord to talk back and forth with me on the daily and 300 plus of the most amazing people, so you do not miss a stock opportunity. Also guys, you want a free 70 bucks, 80 bucks, 100 bucks, or whatever it may be. Again, that word is free. It takes 2 minutes to do so. If you use my link in the comments or in the description to download Moomoo on your phone or computer, once you open an account and make a deposit, it can literally be 2 pennies from your bank account. You will start earning free stocks from them courtesy of Moomoo when you use my links. Your money's also FDIC insured, so you don't have to worry about anything. And in my opinion, it's better than a ton of other trading platforms. Just saying. I love you all. Lottery Stocks out.